Hello, beautiful Karolina. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sitting in your car?
I am. I had to escape from the office. So, yes, I have a
Yeah.
little bit of peace and quiet in here.
Okay, so this is what commitment looks like. So Carolina did do a lot of lives in Soul to Soul in her car, but I didn't know we'd be doing, a bit of a chat together in the car. It's hysterical. I love it. It's great. It's perfect. I love that you're not waiting for it to be perfect before you come on and speak. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. So Carolina, just give us a little bit of an intro about who you are and where you're from.
Okay. So, I am Karolina. I am living in Sydney. I'm originally from Poland, but I moved here 10 years ago. What I do, um, I work as compliance manager, but my passion is somewhere else. My passion is about helping other people, and yes. And I came to Soul because, like probably everyone else, I wanted to find my soulmate, my special man to share my life with.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Mhm.
And how old are you, darling?
I'm 35.
35. I always like to share that so that, whoever's watching, you can kind of, sometimes 35-year-olds be like, whoa, whoa, it's really, she's speaking my language. So that's the only reason I share age. Age is irrelevant, but sometimes just when we're hearing other people share, we can really relate more. Yeah, so it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, Carolina's 35, prime of her life. So let's dive on in and go back to that first phone call that we have. Can you just, I know you're all lit up and you are radiating so much joy. And I feel like the Grinch to say, hey, can we just go back to how you were actually feeling when we first spoke?
Yes. Oh my God. I had no idea what it's gonna be about. Like I knew it's all soul to soul or something about soulmate, and that's it. I wasn't 100% sure what it's gonna be like. And I thought, oh, I'll just give it a go. And yes, I was. Oh my gosh, I was so terrified. Uh, it was funny because when we were talking, and I remember when later you were repeating what I said. I was like, oh my, did I like it sounds so differently when someone else is saying these things, about there was about my blocks and things like that.
It was
And
confronting.
yeah, it was, yes, it's very, very different when it's only in our head than when we hear it back. I was, oh my God, I can't believe I actually said these things. How
Yes.
bad is, like that my life, it really reflected my life more. I could see it more.
So where were you at? Share with us. Like when just really,
Oh,
I know right now you're in your joy. So just, you might even want to close your eyes and drop back into that space, Carolina. Take a moment. Don't rush it. How you were really feeling. How did life feel? Where were you at? What was going on for you to actually book that call?
yeah, so I felt very, very lonely. My relationship ended year before that. And it was just so disappointing because I thought, that, oh yes, this will be the one. We're gonna get married. We're gonna have kids, and then it didn't happen. And like in the past, I thought when I'm 35, I'm definitely gonna be married and had 2 kids and
Yeah.
have my life settled. And it wasn't like that. So it was just so sad and so depressing. And uh, yeah, I just felt terrible. I really wasn't in a good place. That's why I thought, oh my God, this is my chance. Maybe I will get something what will help me find a way to my man, and yeah, somehow
Get out.
fix my life. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But where were you? If you just, I know you, I can see this is what's happening a lot when I start doing like testimonials like this. My women are so lit up that I'm like, okay, we'll get to that point. But how we, I love it. It's like, I don't want to take that in that moment. But right now, I really want to go to the underbelly of what sucked. Why did you book a call? What was life really like? Can you just share with us how it was impacting you at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, I did. I did suffer from depression as well for many, many years. I wasn't confident at all. I am a happy and bubbly person, but what was just from the outside, what people could see, what I let them see, but inside I was just in so much pain. And also what I wanted to say.
What was that pain? Do you mind just giving us, you don't have to go right down into it, but what was that pain that you were carrying around with you? For others that need to hear you really share. Don't have to go too deep, but what was that pain that you were carrying around with you? What were those feelings?
It was not feeling worthy and feeling not understood by others, and not having this group of supportive people around me. I felt like I just don't belong anywhere. Like I'm not understood, like I'm just somehow different from other people. And yes, I would withdraw from groups, even if I wanted to be part of the group, but at the same time there was so much fear because of not trusting others. So my mechanism was just to withdraw. But then it wouldn't work, because then I would go into spiral down with my emotions and just go to depression and stuff.
Did you feel that people and men let you down? Is that why? Was that kind of the cycle that
Oh yes, definitely. I didn't feel I wasn't feeling like I could trust anybody, absolutely anybody. And I had relationships, of course, in the past, and they were some were very good. Like other guys, they were usually good guys, kind guys, but somehow something always went wrong, like everything, it was fine, and suddenly you know what, I actually something's missing, or I don't want to be with you anymore, or I don't have time for you. Time was a huge issue for me with guys. They just never had time for me. I was never number one for them. They would never put me first. And yes, it's actually an awful feeling, feel like you're not important. That's how I felt really deeply, like I just don't matter.
Yeah, that's horrible. And I remember when we hung up, because it was one of my longest phone calls. This is our inner joke together, that Karolina was literally up there with one of my longest phone calls, to the point where I was like, listen, it's going to come down to a decision. Are you in or out? She was like, I couldn't get her off the phone. I was like, let's just call it a day and be friends, And she was just like, still there. I was like, I can't hang up on you. And it was the funniest thing. I was like, I've got to walk my dog and get on the next call. Like, come on. And I know you then went and posted in Ignite Your Queen, Attract Your Soulmate right after this. What was your big revelation, even though you got a phone to talk about attracting a soulmate? What was also coming up for you, Karolina?
Yeah, I will never, ever forget that phone call in my life. Never. It was life-changing for me. During our conversation, I just had so much fear. Like I felt, oh yes, I want to do it, but the money, oh my God, what I'm going to do, and it was all for me about fear around money. But God, it's so funny to think about it, like how bad it was actually. Oh my God. I remember I wasn't even talking for some time, when we were on the call, and you were just still there. I just couldn't believe that someone would take so much time. And even when I said, oh no, I can't do it, you still didn't give up on me. You stayed. You didn't push or anything. You just stayed on the phone and let me go through all these emotions, which were so terrifying for me. I had, my hands were shaking. My heart was beating like crazy. Then when we went on to video, I just broke into tears, because it was so
emotional,
terrifying and so emotional. And I didn't realize till later that it was actually not about money at all. I had whole day I was walking in this fear that I committed. And then at night I remember I had a massive panic attack. And I started journaling what was it about, and it was actually absolutely not about money. It was my fears of not feeling worthy enough, not believing that no, I can't do it, that it's impossible for me. And it yes, it was amazing that I discovered that it wasn't about money at all. It was all about because money does represent worthiness, and it was all about that for me.
Yes.
It was so eye-opening. I thought, my God, how can I give control to something, some paper? I give all my control to it around my life, around everything that I do.
Yeah, and it just signals to the universe like, no, there isn't enough for me. I'm not worthy of a high-end program. It was you like gripping to scarcity, fear, and lack and saying to the universe, I'm not worthy. But what was so profound about you, Karolina, is you really did go on this roller coaster where I did hold space for you because I loved your energy, and I only invited you in because I knew I could help you.
Yeah.
And I was a bit shocked that we were on the phone for so long, but I always trust that I'm where I'm meant to be on those calls. And if that means, someone had to be rescheduled, so be it in that moment, because we're humans. And you and I both didn't know at the beginning of the call where it was going to go because there is no agenda. But you chose to get resourceful. Yeah. I want to hear about this for those of you watching. Karolina, even though she realized it wasn't about money at the end of the day, she had a big fear about how she was actually going to get out of her comfort zone and get resourceful and find a way. And she did. And that's what I want to celebrate right now, is it would have been so easy for you to turn your back when you were so close to getting these big breakthroughs. So easy just to say, you know what, Lucy, thank you and bye. And some women do that. And it breaks my heart when I see that, because I'm truly good over here. I don't need someone to do soul to soul. You know what I'm saying? But when I see someone on the verge of changing their life and then they blame it on the money, it's like, no, we can always make more money, but we don't get time back. That's the truth.
100%. And I know, because even now thinking, like back, that you could just say, oh no, okay, you don't want to do it. Yeah, that's fine, no problem. Yeah. But because you stayed so long and you were just there for me. And I think what it was as well, that no one ever done it for me. It was first time when I experienced someone actually just be there for me. It was so beautiful. And when I'm thinking that I could miss out on this program, oh my God, it's actually terrifying thinking about it, that I could miss out.
Right. Wow.
Because of fear,
Okay, so then let's, this isn't the way that these chats normally go, which I love, because it's got a whole different spin on it, right? Where we're getting into your world in that moment of when you're about to make that decision. And for those of you watching, there was a truckload of resistance for Karolina. But it's funny because I can remember it like it was yesterday, but I can also barely remember it because that identity you were living in has now been
gone. Gone.
You can't help but shine through. Even when you're sharing about this stuff, you are shining, sister. So why don't we go into, where you're standing now? Where have you moved into now within yourself, and what's possible?
Oh, everything. Everything is possible. Well, first of all, the huge fear around money is gone. It's gone. And it's amazing the way I think about it now, the things I want to buy or do. I'm like, there's just no issue anymore. Like, oh yeah, if I have to put it on credit card, it's fine. I never had, by the way, before credit card, before soul to soul, so it was my first time. And I was like, no. Now it's like, yeah, whatever. It's so actually easy to pay it off. I had this thing in my head that it's so scary. No, it's not. There's so many interest-free for many, many months. And, and actually it's so easy to pay it off anyway. So this is gone.
That's actually a distinction. I don't want to step over it, Kay, because often women will say, I don't want to get into debt. I've just paid off my debt. I said, I understand that. And this is not debt. This is an investment that's going to get you out of the scarcity around money and being safe and really holding on like this for dear life. Like, this is my only bit of money over here and I'm going to hold on to it. And opening it up to saying, hang on a minute, I'm abundant. I can receive more. I'm worthy of more. So yes, there's an investment, but that investment opens the door to up level how you deal with your money consciousness. Yeah. And so soul to soul, and we'll get to where it's really made a difference for you with regards to soulmate relationships and how you feel about yourself and all of that. But this is a very important piece of the conversation, that it's not just about attracting your soulmate. It's about up-leveling your entire consciousness on how you feel in the world, right?
Yes. That's the thing. I think, like, you know, I got very clear about who I want to have in my life, and, you know, how my relationship will look like and how I feel in it. Yes, that was a, you know, huge thing for me. But it's funny that in my case, at least, it was about so much more than just a relationship. It was about, I feel like it was about actually everything around it, around, you know, my career, my, you know, money, my emotions,
as well.
So much more about that as well. So that's what I love about it, that it changes everything, you know. Not only, you know, oh, I'm gonna get a boyfriend. No, you're gonna change your freaking life. That's what it is. Opportunities start coming, you know. People see me differently. Like, it's just, it's incredible. It's incredible.
People see you differently. What sort of comments have you been getting?
Oh, well, I'm getting so many compliments at the moment, but also they treat me differently because I started treat myself differently. Yes. You know, I won't get, they won't put me down anymore. And even if they try to do that, there's a, you know, my barrier straight away, and they know that, oh, okay, they've done something wrong. That's how they feel.
You mean boundaries.
My boundaries. Yeah. What did I say? I don't know.
You said barrier, but I knew you meant boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries. Sorry, boundaries. Yeah, my boundaries. So it's, you know, it's there and it's strong, and people can feel it. Yeah. People can feel when you're confident, when you're respecting yourself, when you know, committed to yourself. Yeah. They know that they can't mess with you anymore.
You are in your inner queen. And what I want to just circle back to when you said it's so much more than just the boyfriend or the soulmate, is that everything is connected. So when someone says to me, oh, everything's perfect in my life except for my relationship, I call BS. I said, it might appear that way, but it can't be, because everything from our health to our finances to our friendships to the relationships with our family to that soulmate relationship is all connected. So we can't just, you know, there are dating programs out there that break my heart that people are doing where it's learn who to be for the guy. No thanks. That is the most inauthentic, powerless thing I can ever see being taught right now. It's about come home to who you really are. Yeah. Get into alignment with your greatness, and from there you can attract absolutely everything, which is what you said in the earlier. Like, everything is changed, and that is true. So what would you say to a soul sister right now that's standing where you stood? What would you say to her? She's kind of really wants to do it, but she's got a lot of fear coming up too. What would you say to her?
I would say, this is your life, and we have only one life on this planet here at the moment. Don't let the fear stop you, because you know what, the fear shows up everywhere. Yeah. You know, with whatever we want to do, there's always some kind of fear, but that's what stops people from, you know, being successful, from having the best relationships, from speaking their mind. You know, don't let the fear stop you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Just keep going. And if you break, you know, for one of the fears, then it's going to be so much easier to break through the, you know, other ones. Like, it's just, you know, it's so worth it. Just have trust, because I can see it so clearly in people now, you know, how they seeing people in fear and fighting with themselves. It's actually painful to watch.
Yes, It is.
It's so painful. So why would you hold on to this pain?
Yes.
Just let it go, trust the path, and it will happen. And do the work, and it will change so fast, really.
Yeah.
Within a week, you can see changes.
Within a week, that's exactly right. And the truth is that it's not some cute little like rainbows and unicorns. It's not like that. It's all
no, not at all. No tears, but it's good because I had so much fun. I cried. I was sad, I was happy, I was angry, and it's all this mix of emotions because there are no good or bad emotions. All of that, we need all of them, but it's just how we deal with them.
Yes.
So it's like my whole life was happening within 8 weeks. That's how it was for me.
Wow. Well, you're absolutely undeniably radiating. And I know a lot of the stuff that you worked through on your journey was also really healing the past and also the dynamic you had with your ex, and actually really and truly now paving a new path and a new foundation. So it was amazing to see you get that just in the last, you did so much other stuff and finally you got this massive, massive breakthrough and clarity, which I know has just changed the game for you when it comes to love and relationships. So how do you feel right now, having just finished, knowing that we're at the beginning of 2019? How do you feel about this beautiful love coming in?
I am so excited. I am so excited. I can feel it with my whole body. I remember on the last day of Soul to Soul, I made a live saying, how filled with love I am.
Yes.
I can feel it in my whole body, it gets me really emotional because it feels amazing. I feel it all the time, it just doesn't stop, this love. And I feel so calm and so confident about him coming now.
Yes.
I have absolutely no doubts. I say, good morning to him in the morning, good night at night. I know it sounds crazy, but I just feel it so much, and I have absolutely no fear around it at all.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, it's all done. And
done. And can I tell you right now that I believe you, and women watching this believe you. It's not something we can fake. Yeah, there's a lot of people trying to do action out there, and it's all words or it's all just vision boards, and that's nice, but we don't need more information. We don't need a pretty vision board. A vision board is useless unless we're actually feeling it and activating it and dealing with our shitty beliefs and mindset. That is the truth. And right now, Karolina, you are like a beautiful clear crystal. It's now just this, it's what I want to call it, it's like simplistic energy, and that's a compliment. Before it was all like scattered and heady, even though you're gorgeous, but it was like, woo! Now, you are in this Empress, beautiful goddess energy, and you're not trying to be. You're not doing this just because we're chatting. You've been like this, right? From the second half of Soul to Soul, I started to see this shift.
Oh, yeah.
And there was resistance in the beginning, and there was victimhood energy, and there was abandonment issues coming up, remember? And
massive.
But everything does come out. That's what I want to say to you. If you really are thinking about Soul to Soul, you're not going to get through it without really going through the eye of the storm. That is true transformation. It gets messy, it gets gritty as F. And on the other side of it is your best life. So I just want to acknowledge you, Karolina. It was nothing but a delight to guide you home to who you are, because you're pretty extraordinary. Just quietly, I think there might be some girls with a bit of girl crush on you. You have such an amazing, you have such a beautiful, beautiful, generous energy. And yet what I notice now that wasn't present at the beginning is you value you now. You value you.
Yes.
And that's why your king is coming in, and I can't wait to celebrate. Cannot. Done. Yes. All right. I'm going to get off to work. It is very exciting. And thank you so much for sharing yourself so generously. And
pleasure.
Oh my goodness.
I told you like a million times that I am so, so grateful. Really. It's the type of experience that I will never, ever forget. Never. It's because it changed me. It's like, you know, oh, I forgot even to say, you know, about all the feminine side, you know, like finally feeling 100% woman and being, you know, feeling in my feminine energy. This is so incredible, like, especially, you know, with what's going on in the world right now. Some women are scared to be a woman.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, I'm here, you know, my feminine energy, you know, being a woman, feeling my vagina, and it's wonderful. It's just so different. And yes, but because you are doing it, you know, because you are, you know, you walk your talk, and you giving us permission by the way you behave, and you give us permission to do exactly the same.
Thank you, darling. Well, that's it. We're all in it together. And I'm also very much still a work in progress. We're all a work in progress as far as I'm concerned. But obviously I'm in a position to lead because I've been in the shoes of someone who was attracting in relationships that men kept leaving because I had abandonment issues. So that's why this is my life's work and purpose, because I managed to absolutely put myself on a different path. And I was like, if I can do it, everyone can do it, you know? So, and the other thing I just wanted to mention before we wrap is that Karolina, this wasn't her first rodeo. She had already invested in other programs, right? She's a smart girl. She loves self-development. But when she got on the phone with me, I kind of went straight to the truth. And I just said, look, it's awesome you've been doing that. And I know it's been helpful. But even from this short time speaking with you, this is not changing your life in the way that you need it to. Let's get down to work, you know? So I loved that, even though, because this is the thing, sometimes people come to me and they're like, well, why is this going to be any different? I've done all this other stuff. I was like, because it is the best program out there at the moment to get you on your path. That's why. That's why. Yeah. And so
it is so different, really, really. And yeah, the magic in, you know, coming from your heart, learning how to do things from your heart, that's what it is, you know.
That's exactly right.
To learn how to do it, it makes huge difference. It changes everything. It's absolutely changing everything.
Well, I love, again, just the simple way that you describe that, because it's heart work. Yeah. For those you might not be understanding, Americans are like, what? Heart work. Now I sound heart work. Yeah. In fact, a lot of my clients are Aussie, so I'm just going to say heart, because I am Aussie, even though I live in New York. But this is the thing that we're not being taught at school. We're not being taught at university. We're not being taught at home. And so I attract in a lot of big shot women. They're bright as F. They are powerful women. They are beautiful women. Yeah. But they're living their life from the masculine and from the head. And so this is something very foreign for pretty much everyone that comes in, because it's all about opening up the emotional life again and opening the heart again and letting people in. And so, yeah, I just want to deeply, deeply celebrate you and say, well done you for showing up fully for yourself. And now also being a woman in the world that is just a beacon of light for other people, because you're now giving people permission to be their best self. That's the truth.
Yes, thank you.
Yay. I could keep talking to you all night, clearly, but I'm going to go and hug my puppy and my husband and get an early night. But Karolina, thank you so much. And thank you for also, if someone wants to reach out to you, don't bombard her, but if you have a simple question, I'm sure she's happy to answer that.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, gorgeous one. Well, I will see you in the graduate group.
Okay. See you. Have a good night, Lucy.
Thank you.
See you. Bye. Bye-bye.